Welcome to Buy, Hold, Sell, brought to you by Livewire Markets. I'm Matthew Kidman, and we're going back. We're getting a bit retro. Growth doesn't exist anymore, but we're going to talk about it regardless. And to talk about growth, I've got Tim Serjeant from Eley, Griffiths, Chris Stott from 1851 Capital. Chris, let's go with you. One of the old market darlings, been slaughtered. EML Payments, buy, hold or sell?
Sell. I still think it is a market darling. The result was a little bit disappointing, didn't quite deliver enough. Still on a very high multiple, over 20 times PE, so sell.
Very well owned, much loved, halved. Buy, hold or sell?
EML's a sell for us too. Look, it's a business model that's typically relied on acquisitions to fuel the growth. Organic growth has been reasonable too, but I think at 2 times geared now, it's just probably, I think it's a sell for us.
Okay. One that's done quite well for a high growth stock and high PE, Nanosonics, buy, hold or sell?
Yeah, we still like Nan, so it's a buy. Management team ex-Cochlear, consumables revenue growth continues to be strong. Second product coming is a near-term catalyst. We think Nan's is a buy.
Health should sound good in this environment, Chris. Nanosonics plays the game. Buy, hold or sell?
Sell. So great product in the Trophon, it's here to stay, but for shorter term, I think in this market, very high valuation, and for us, we'd look to buy it at better prices, so sell.
Okay, so we're all going to stay home. We're all going to drink coffee and juice at home. Breville, buy, hold or sell?
Buy. One of the standout results of reporting season. To us, the European region is the next US over the next 10 years, so buy.
Domestic caffeine's probably going to get us through this coronavirus, Tim. Breville, buy, hold or sell?
Buy for Breville, agree with Chris. I think the thing that we like is that we look at through the universe and there's not too many stocks we can find that we think can grow double digits at the revenue line sustainably, organically. Buy.
Okay, online seems to have found its feet in this market. Everyone's cautious, not going to crowded places. City Chic, big online business for oversized ladies in fashion. Buy, hold or sell?
Hold for us, 53% of earnings online. We're just very cautious retail in the short term. They've still got bricks and mortar stores in Australia. The Avenue acquisitions perform well. We think it's one the market will gravitate towards too, but it's still been a highly profitable trade from the lows.
All these guys in the retail business around the world, they've been worried about supply, the supply line. City Chic, buy, hold or sell?
Buy. We think they'll move through the next few months okay on the supply side. Really high quality management team. As Tim said, over half of their sales are online, so fairly defensive in that regard. The thing we really like is just the complete lack of competition in that space, so buy. Okay.
WISR. Big rocket, big collapse, very volatile, illiquid. Buy, hold or sell?
Sell. I think in these markets, they're heavily reliant on their funding, and with credit markets looking shaky, I think that doesn't bode well for them shorter term, so sell.
Tim, credit markets are getting tougher, we know that, but terrific growth for WISR. Buy, hold or sell?
We're going to say buy. The customer base is largely prime, and the loss rates to date would indicate that. Clearly, delinquencies and unemployment are risks there, but we think they're now funded. Third-party validation via NAB, equity in place. We think the growth is there for them to execute on. Buy.
Regardless of viruses, regardless of bushfires, some companies just keep growing and they're worthwhile owning.